Okay, this is to go over the quiz on monopolistic competition and oligopoly. Which of the following statements about a monopolistically competitive firm in long-run equilibrium is true? Okay, it has excess capacity even though its long-run profit is zero and its output price equals its marginal cost. That's not true. Okay, let me show you. To remind you, in monopolistic competition, when you are in long-run equilibrium, okay, so we know that marginal revenue equals marginal cost. You're behaving just like a monopolist. So you choose the quantity where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. You set the price up on the demand curve. And that is a case where price equals average cost. So this is definitely true in monopolistic competition in the long run. But you are not producing at the lowest possible average cost. In fact, you have what's called excess capacity, which is that you're able to produce more, but you're choosing not to because you want to hold back the quantity you're producing in order to charge a higher price and maximize your profit. So notice, just like in monopoly, the price is greater than marginal cost. Okay, so in monopoly, just like in monopolistic competition, the price is greater than marginal cost. The price is greater than marginal revenue. Okay? Compared to perfect competition, where the price is equal to marginal cost, and in the long run, and also price is equal to marginal revenue. Okay? And profits are zero. So here, monopolistic competition, profits are zero. Perfect competition is profits are zero in the long run. But in monopolistic competition, just like in monopoly, price is greater than marginal cost, price is greater than marginal revenue, whereas in perfect competition, price is equal to marginal cost, price is equal to marginal revenue. Let's see the different choices here. Again, which of the following statements about a monopolistically competitive firm in long-run equilibrium is true? It has excess capacity, that's true. Its long-run profit is zero, that's true. Its output price equals marginal cost, that's not true. Let's try this one. It has excess capacity. Its output price exceeds marginal cost. Its long-run profit is zero. Bingo, that's the one. Okay, let's see, next. A monopolistically competitive profit-maximizing firm is currently producing and selling 2,000 units of output. At this output level, marginal revenue is $9, average revenue is $10, and average variable cost is $8. Okay? What is the product price? So this one is interesting because we never saw this concept of average revenue. But let's just think about it. What do we mean by average revenue? Total revenue is equal to price times quantity. Average revenue is total revenue divided by quantity, which is price times quantity divided by quantity, which is price. So average revenue is price. Okay? Here we go. So we're basically told at this output level, marginal revenue is $9, average revenue is 10, so the price is greater than marginal revenue, and price is greater than average variable cost. So very nice, you're in business, and your price is $10. That's the answer. Which of the following is true of both monopolistically competitive and perfectly competitive firms in long-run equilibrium? Price equals average cost, right? Because profit is zero in both monopolistically competitive and perfectly competitive firms. Which of the following is true for a monopolistically competitive firm in long-run equilibrium? Let's see. It earns a normal profit. Remember, we said a normal profit is where the profit is equal to 0. A monopolistically competitive firm's demand curve will be highly elastic if which of the following exists? Highly elastic means that the customers are very sensitive to a price change, so the demand curve is very flat, fairly flat. Not perfectly flat, but very flat. When does that happen? And the answer is if there's a high degree of product substitutability. In other words, even though everybody has a different product, but if the products are highly substitutable, that means the customers really couldn't care that much between buying your product or the other guy's product. And so they're going to be very sensitive to a price change. So this is the answer. When there's a high degree of product substitutability, that is going to be a very flat demand curve for the monopolistic competitor. If you guys remember when we learned elasticity, we said one of the determinants of elasticity was the existence of substitutes. The more substitutes there are, the more elastic the demand would be, the more price elastic. And that's what we have over here with monopolistic competitors. If the products out there, even though they're not identical, if there's a high degree of product substitutability, then the demand curve for each monopolistically competitive firm will be highly elastic. Which of the following statements correctly identifies a difference between perfect competition and monopolistic competition? Let's see. In perfect competition, there are no barriers to entry. That's true. But there are strong barriers in monopolistic competition. That is false, right? Because monopolistic competition, also there are no barriers to entry. That's how come it also has a 0 profit in the long run. In perfect competition, the firms all sell products that are exactly the same. But in monopolistic competition, each firm sells a slightly differentiated product. That's correct. This is correct. So this must be the answer. Let's go through the other ones. In perfect competition, there are few customers, but in monopolistic competition, there are many customers. We never made that differentiation. We said in both cases, there are a lot of customers. In perfect competition, there are many firms, but in monopolistic competition, there are only few firms. Not true. In perfect competition, there's like an infinite number of firms. In monopolistic competition, there are many firms, but not a few. A few is really oligopoly. In perfect competition, firms maximize profit by selling the quantity where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. But in monopolistic competition, firms maximize profit by selling the quantity where marginal revenue exceeds marginal cost. That is not true. In all of the cases, you choose the profit maximizing quantity when marginal revenue equals marginal cost. So the only one that's correct is C. Okay. Which of the following is true of a monopolistically competitive firm in long-run equilibrium? Here we go. Price equals average cost, but is greater than marginal cost. Right, that's the one. That is monopolistically competitive. Okay. Which of the following is true for both a monopolistically competitive firm and a perfectly competitive firm in long-run equilibrium? Price is equal to average cost. All of the following characterize both perfectly competitive and monopolistically competitive markets, except, let's see, firms can affect the selling price of their product. This is correct for monopolistically competitive firms, but not for perfect competition. In perfect competition, you cannot affect the selling price. You're a price taker. Okay, let's see the other ones. Firms can easily enter or exit the market. That's true of both. Market has a large number of firms. That's true of both. Individual firms produce output where marginal cost equals marginal revenue. That's true of both. Price equals average revenue. That's true of both. So the answer is firms can affect the selling price of their product. Which of the following is true of a monopolistically competitive firm in long-run equilibrium? Here we go. Price exceeds marginal cost and the firm earns 0 economic profit. Which of the following about the relationship between marginal revenue and price under monopolistic competition and perfect competition is correct? So we know price is greater than marginal revenue in monopolistic competition. Here we go. Monopolistic competition, price is greater than marginal revenue. In perfect competition, price equals marginal revenue. The demand curve for a monopolistically competitive firm is downward sloping because it's a monopoly. It's not a perfect competition. Why is it a monopoly? Because the products produced by different firms are not identical, right? Each firm is a monopoly in its own product. That's why each firm faces a downward sloping demand curve. Okay, so that's the answer. Okay, the cartel model of oligopoly. So cartels is when players in an oligopoly, firms in an oligopoly, when they decide to collude. When they decide to collude, they form a cartel where they basically choose the monopoly outcome and split the profits. Okay, so the cartel model predicts that all firms in the industry act in unison to set a monopoly price. There you go, that's the one. A cartel is difficult to maintain for which of the following reasons? And the answer is there's always a temptation to cheat. Individual cartel members are tempted to cheat on the agreement, so that's how come cartels fall apart. Suppose that the two biggest producers of gold, B mine and G mine, form a cartel to set price. However, each has the option to cheat or to not cheat on the agreement. The table below shows the payoffs from these strategies, with the first entry in each cell, see the first entry in each cell, representing the payoff to B mine, and the second entry in each cell representing the payoff to G mine. Which of the following correctly describes the dominant strategy for each firm? So we have 10, 5, 5, 15, 25, 20, 20, 25. Okay, let's draw that over here. Okay, so we have 10, 5, 5, 15, 25, 20, 20, 25. Okay, so let's do, I should have done it in color. B is, so let me rewrite these. Okay, and let's do the other one in blue. Okay, here we go. So now, B says, if G follows this strategy, okay, I prefer 10 over 5. If G follows this strategy, I prefer 25 over 20. So, and by the way, the strategy was cheat or not cheat. So here, cheat. Okay. By the way, notice if they both don't cheat on the cartel, they get the highest payoff. If they both cheat, they get the lowest payoff. Okay. So basically, B says, if G cheats, I prefer to cheat. If G doesn't cheat, I prefer to cheat. So for B, cheating is dominant. G says, if B cheats, I have a choice between 5 and 20. 20 is better. I prefer not to cheat. If B does not cheat, I prefer to not cheat. So not cheating is dominant for G. Okay? So the answer is, here we go. G mine's dominant strategy is to not cheat. B mine's dominant strategy is to cheat. Okay. The use of game theory to explain strategic behavior among firms is most associated with which of the following market structures? Oligopoly. Wait, did I miss one? No. Okay. If Locke chooses to charge the low price, that means you're looking at this line. So then Star has a choice of high price and get minus 20 or low price and get 40. So Star is going to prefer low price and get 40. Okay. Here it is. Low price, earn 40. The characteristic of oligopolistic firms that makes them different from all other types of firms is that oligopolistic firms consider each other's decisions. Okay, they make strategic choices thinking about what the other person is doing. The following table shows the profits associated with the pricing strategies of two oligopolistic firms, Agronomia and Farmingdale. Each firm has two possible strategies to charge a low price or a high price. The first entry in each cell, meaning the first number in each cell, belongs to Agronomia. The second one belongs to Farmingdale. Okay? If the two firms do not cooperate as a result of the firm's pricing decisions, the profits of each firm will be which of the following? So if they don't cooperate, we're going to look for a Nash equilibrium. Let's see. So let's rewrite this game. Okay. So here we go. Okay, so we got Farmingdale. Okay, so we have high price, low price, high price, low price, low price, LP, and this is Agronomia. Okay, fine. So let's, in red, this is Agronomia, and we got 150, 300, 50, 100, and Farmingdale, oops, okay, we got 150, 300, 100, and 50. Okay, so now, right, we're told they're not cooperating, so they're playing Nash equilibrium. By the way, if they were cooperating, then it's not clear, right? Because they could choose either this or this, because the combined is 350, which is more than either. So they would choose one of these cells and then split the profits. Okay, now, in this case, Agronomia says, if Farmingdale charges a high price, I prefer to charge a low price. If Farmingdale charges a low price, I prefer to charge a low price. So Agronomia has a dominant strategy of charging a low price. Farmingdale says, if Agronomia charges a high price, they prefer to charge a low price because 300 is more than 150. If Agronomia charges a low price, they prefer a low price. So they also have a dominant strategy, and the Nash equilibrium is that each one is going to make $100. There you go. Agronomia's profit is 100, Farmingdale's profit is 100. That's the answer. Okay. Assume that alpha and beta are the only sellers of a product and they do not cooperate. Okay. Assuming both firms know the information in the matrix, which of the following correctly describes the dominant strategy of each firm? So let's just change the numbers here. Hold on a sec. Okay, and okay. So we got this player is alpha and high price, low price, let's say, fine. We got 100, 110, 30, and 50. And we got beta, $100, 120, 70, and 20. Okay, so alpha says if beta raises the price, I prefer to not raise the price. If beta does not raise the price, I prefer to not raise the price. So the dominant strategy is to not raise the price. Beta says if alpha raises the price, I prefer to not raise the price. If alpha does not raise the price, I prefer to not raise the price. So both of them have a dominant strategy to not raise the price. That's the answer. Do not raise price, do not raise price. Okay. Collusion, price leadership, and price wars are usually observed in which of the following market structures? Oligopoly. Antitrust policy, antitrust, where cartel is a trust, right? So antitrust policy is to prevent cartels, to prevent or eliminate which of the following practices? Collusion and price fixing. E-soda and R-soda are the only two firms. They do not cooperate. Okay, so it can be concluded what will happen. So let's take a look. We have to redraw this. Okay, I'm just going to do this one. I'm going to do this one. Super quick. I'm going to do it all in one color. So low price, high price, low price, high price. So we got 25, 25, 15, 90, 90, 15, 75, 75. By the way, here, if they colluded, they would both set a high price, and you see that each makes 75, which is higher than if they split the profits in any other cell. But since they do not cooperate, they cannot sustain this equilibrium, so it's not a Nash equilibrium. So let's see what happens. This is E-soda and R-soda. Okay, E-soda said, if R-soda plays low price, I prefer low price. If R-soda plays high price, I prefer low price. R-soda says, if E-soda plays low price, I prefer low price. If E-soda plays high price, I prefer low price. So the equilibrium will be 25-25. They'll both play low price. Both firms choose the low price strategy. That's the answer. Okay. Evergreen and NatureView are bidding for a landscaping contract. The payoff matrix above shows what each firm's total weekly profits from all its operations will be. Okay, what's the Nash equilibrium? So here we have okay. We got 600, 300, 720, 100, 520, 400, and 500, 200. Okay, high, low, high, low. Okay, so this is Evergreen, and this is NatureView. Okay, Evergreen says, if NatureView bids high, I prefer to bid low. If NatureView bids low, I prefer to bid high. NatureView says, if Evergreen bids high, I prefer to bid low. If Evergreen bids low, I prefer to bid low. So the answer is going to be 520 and 4, where Evergreen bids high, Nature bids low. That's it. Evergreen bids high, NatureView bids low. Okay, that's it. I hope that was helpful.